Yes. Be afraid. Be very afraid. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
But I don't know why. It says it's charging, but why is it?
Because I think it uses as much power as it's
to do
taking
nothing?
in. It's doing something. It's showing you a screen.
Yeah, but it hasn't even started playing yet.
Is the sound working? The bot says hello. Why is the chat not working? Oh, that's not going to be good. That's really, really not good.
What?
I don't have a chat. I just bumped the camera. I can't read the chat from there. It's not filling up. It's not in the box. If I knew, I would click something. All right, fine. Let's do this. Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and today we have a new project on the board. Really excited about this one. This is going to be a lot of fun. This is not okay. So the last few things that we've been working on have all been like beginner level, where you only use 2 knots. This is not one of those. This is going to use all 4 knots, and I'll try to explain it as I go along. You'll have to forgive me. I'm a little excited and a little bit amped up, so we'll see how it goes. All right, we're joined here today. We got Mandy there. Say hello. And she's worried that her tablet is going to run out of juice. My problem, of course, though, right now is my chat thing isn't working, and I don't know why, but I will do my best to try to have Mandy prompt me if you guys are commenting or anything like that. So, once again, this week we have the secret word game. All you got to do is chat to win. Say the secret word, and the bot should say something nice like "you won," and that'll be pretty cool. Okay, so what we have here, we have 3 shades of green, a dark, medium, and light, which the dark and the medium are actually relatively close to each other. Then we have, I've put this together in this sequence specifically for a reason, but I'll explain that later. Next, we have a light lavender, a purple, and a gold color. And we basically have it in that order because we're going to try to sandwich that gold color between the 2 darkest other colors. So it's going to be between the darkest green and the darker purple. Because we're going to try to make that gold color really, really pop. So now the darkest one is going to go over top of everything and just off to the sides. So this is just a basic forward knot, or just a knot that is going to the right. That's a relatively simple one. Mind you, you may have noticed I already set up the colors along here. That's because we do this all the time, and I expect that my viewers probably know how to do that part already. So, besides, I kind of wanted to get right into the heart of this project. All right, so now we've gotten all the way to that side. Oh, hey, Rainbow. Welcome. All right, now we're gonna go down the other side. And again, this is just a left knot. Nothing fancy yet. Now I love the pattern that we're using here today. It's maybe not the easiest, but it gives me all the cues I need to be able to make the pattern work, right? Like it doesn't, I don't have to look at a paper or anything else because for me, the way this one goes, it just seems a little bit like common sense. So, and I'll show you why here. So now we're going to come out with the second color and come down. And it's not going to go to the end. It's going to go down to that gold strand. So right now it's just a left knot. And then see, we already know that this one was getting dropped. So we're on this one. This one's going to go to the left and then to the right. And then I'm going to take both of those strands and just kind of set them off to the side. And we're going to do the same thing, just mirrored on the other side. Okay, so then it was to the right and now to the left. And then I'd set those two aside. So now I just have enough left in the middle here to do a little tiny diamond in the center. So just for convenience reasons or whatever, I'm just going to go to the right here first. When it gets to this last one, it goes to the right and then to the left, which will allow me to come back in to make a little diamond in the middle of this. And you can see how the dark medium light of the greens is kind of gives us a cool shading effect to this particular area. And we have the lavender or light purple in the center. Oh, I need to get the music going. Hang on. Okay. And now I'm going to bring in this one. So there's our little diamond in the center. And I could, if I brought the other colors in, I could make that a diamond, but that's not what this is going to be. This is going to make a little figure 8. So to do that, this medium green is going to come in, and then when it gets to the lavender, it's going to be a left and then a right. So that way it's going to zig back out that direction. And we'll do the same on the other side. Now we can go slightly further with this without having to bring in another piece, but to keep things relatively simple, we're just going to set this off to the side and get another one going. And then we'll join the two together. And again, I've got the strings already all prepped, dark medium and light green, then the light purple, dark purple, and then the yellow. And then like I said, you'll see how we're going to essentially sandwich the golden yellowy color between the two darkest. So that's, it doesn't seem that way the way it's laid out, because the darkest is at the beginning and then the gold is at the last one. But that's exactly why that works, is because it's like counting 1 through 6, you know, and so 1 and 6 end up being right next to each other. So yeah, there's 12 strands in this, and there's going to be 8 loops, making it a 96 stringed bag that we're working on here today. So not huge or anything. It's more of the medicine bag. It's a smaller bag. Something that's going to be going back to the Motown. This was actually a commissioned work that we're doing here. So I'm probably going to end up spending my time on this as opposed to the blue pillow, which, by the way, if you didn't catch the TikTok, the blue pillow has all of the strings have now been added. So that's pretty cool. I'm really kind of excited about the prospect that I just have to go a couple more inches without any adding string or anything else that normally slows me down. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. Oh, and it's almost Halloween. Can you see there's a Halloween decoration behind me? Like, I forget what that came with, but wasn't candy, unfortunately. All right. So again, this is going left and then right on the last string here. I'm going to use the darkest green there to be able to join this in the next one. So I got a little bit excited about this project earlier today and ended up kind of doing a bit of work. So I didn't want to get too far ahead of everything. I wanted to show you how these, basically the diamonds or whatever, started out. So I made sure I left these loops untouched, other than I did set the strings in the right sequence. But beyond that, I kind of let it go best I could. Mandy's been super helpful in getting all of the kumis together while I was trying to finish off the row of adding floss to the blue project, so that way as soon as I got that off the clipboard I could get right into this. And I gotta admit, the little bright lavender in the middle of this really like bright green, I really like the combination. It makes me think of like new growth on a plant that's you know, having a little bit of a bud or a blossom starting. It's really pretty cool. So this is exactly like the last one we just set up. I'm just going to go ahead and get the medium greens out of the way. There we have it. Okay, so now the trick is to set the two loops right next to each other. We can do it with one clip or two. That doesn't really matter, just so long as they start out side by side, nice and close. And we're going to just join these two. It's just going to look like the pattern is a continuation of what it was. And this dark green is now going to make a little diamond that joins these. So it comes down to this purple, goes to the right and then to the left. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side, except for this time it's a left and then a right. And I have to admit, the dark and the medium are really super close. They're only like a shade apart. But the darker on the outside kind of, I don't know, to me it sort of has like a shadow effect going on. It's pretty cool. I like it. I can bring this one in. And this one here. Okay, so you can see how easy it is to start them, and you can see how easy it is to join them. So what happens if you have a little bit more time on your hand? Well, you can join more together. And there you can kind of see better where I was talking about. The darker purple and the darkest green are just making that gold just pop out. I absolutely love this. You can see, as I was saying, how the lighter green was going to make like a figure 8. It totally is. And the cool thing about the figure 8 there is there are 8 loops, and there are obviously then going to be 8 8s going around each one of these bands. And 8 is an auspicious number in Chinese culture, so that's super cool, I think. I think the person who is going to receive this is going to definitely dig on that fact that it's got some deeper inner meanings and things. And as you can probably guess, it's not going to be too long before I have to join the two sides together, because yeah, I really can't keep going further down until that happens. So we'll do that tonight. Don't need anything from this side. All right. You can see, again, the colors just kind of let you know where to turn, right? I don't want to go past this dark green because it's the way it is. So this comes back in. And then I just basically close off this whole little diamond thing after putting in the little lavender knot in the middle. And I get, boom, I got an 8. I have played with so many colors with this pattern, but I have to admit, right now, I kind of really like this color combination. It seems like maybe something out of Aladdin, I want to say, with the purples and golds the way they are. So now this medium green is going to come all the way to the center, and it'll join with the medium green that's coming down from the other side. And you may notice I kind of try to work on one area at a time. Like I just brought this down to the left. And so next thing I'll do is I'll bring the next row down from the left as well. And it's just that whole stitch in time thing where if you just stick to an area instead of changing up too frequently, you'll just get a little bit faster. It's not a huge amount faster, but it is faster. As well as those strings that you were working on were not tangled. So going over them again, it's just that much easier. You don't have to worry about trying to regroup or do anything else weird with it. So this time I need the dark green way over here. See, they kind of wanted to get wrapped around each other as I was pulling those apart. Once that's done, I don't have to worry about it for a while. I don't know if you guys heard when we were starting up, I can't actually see the chats, so it's kind of an unfortunate thing for me here today, but yeah, I can see there's movement like on a screen that's way over that way, but I have no idea what's going on, so I apologize. I'm not even sure what I've done to get rid of it or how I can possibly get it back. So anybody who's a beginner watching this, I know I'm going really fast. If you need to slow down the video, see what I'm doing. Granted, it's a slightly more complex pattern, but it's not a very difficult pattern. It's one of the when you're starting to get into using 4 knots, this would be one of the easier ones that you might actually run into for that. Now, mind you, so I'm just stopping here at a figure 8. There's all kinds of variations on this. I could go and bring it down a whole extra little diamond set down, right? So that way instead of just an 8, it's got like 3 of those little diamond things going through there. I could go halfway down the bracelet, so there'd be like 8 of them, and then switch to the other color and do 8 of the other color, you know, which I've done those before. If you look in on the website akaawol.com and you go through the portfolio, and if you looked at 6 color bracelets, you'll see a number of these. Might even see some of these in 3 color bracelets. So this is coming along really, really quickly. I think partly what allows this one to work so quickly is how you can keep concentrated in one area and do a segment knotting of that area. I think that is the key component to why this seems to be so quick. Unlike the dovetail where you're really kind of forced to do one little square at a time, this kind of allows for a little bit bigger motion. I think that's what it is. It could be just that I enjoy the pattern. I don't know. There we go. I think we'll do some of this part before we go and close this thing together, right? So this works basically the same as what we were doing with the first squares. It's just the next 3 colors. And like I said, we went with it dark, medium, light, then light, dark, and then the gold. And that's how we got the gold to be out here on the outside, is because when the dark green folded back in, it left the gold as to be the next color. And then inside of that is the darker purple. So this time, like how we did before, the gold goes all the way off to the side, it's going to join up with the other gold and make a small diamond. And the purple is going to stop at the last string, which is in this case the dark green. I'm not sure how well represented this camera does these colors, but it kind of looks good on my screen. Hopefully you guys are getting a gist of how nice this really looks. Is that a little better? Trying to shed a little more light on it. But this is all 8 loops already, so mind you, my arm is feeling it. I've been kind of at this all day, so I'm starting to notice that kind of feels like I've been at it all day. And you can see the way that the diamond again forms for the middle. Slightly in a similar way to the how we were leaving off the strings in the dovetail, except for this one it sort of doubles back instead of just going straight across. And this time the light green is the little dot in the center with the lavender going around it. Before it was the light green going around the lavender. Now it's the lavender going around the light green, which I think is kind of cool. I also like the way that the darker purple really kind of pops as well. But being sandwiched between two much lighter colors, it really kind of stands out, perhaps even more than how the greens do. The greens kind of blend together, but the darker purple definitely stands out. Now the gold is just going to do this sweeping thing from all the way from this side all the way to the center. And we'll have one more little area done. I don't know if you guys saw the Instagram post from last night, but I managed to kind of get this thing started last night. And I wanted to entice some people to come in and join us. So I shared the fact that I was starting on something new and different. Doesn't seem to really have worked much though. It says 9 people have visited here, but only a couple now at the moment, so that's okay. I do know that a number of people do watch these later, which is a little bit unfortunate. I get time zones are an issue. But it's unfortunate because they would be able to chat and try to win the cool bracelets, so. I don't know if you can tell, but we're kind of building up this area of this one, not here, this purple area is getting built up for when being able to be finished when I get halfway through the next one. So that's and now I can bring this gold up to the gold and then even past it by a little bit. So kind of neat. Yeah. I don't know if you noticed this, but these gold dots in between the darkest green, I think is a perfect way of making that kind of pop as well. It just looks elegant. I guess what I'm trying to say is color placement. You should really think that out in advance, like what you're trying to do with the colors, what's going to make certain colors really stand out in these kind of projects. And in this case, I think this was a really nice way of doing it. Mind you, if you have your own variations on it, tag me, like in Instagram or something. Show me what you did. I'd love to see different variations. You know, if you think maybe you got a different way of putting the same colors together. Because mind you, these are the colors that were asked of me. So like, I didn't really choose that aspect out. What I did choose was the sequence to put them in. And hopefully they like it. You know, I mean, these kind of things are subjective. Not everybody likes the same stuff. I get that. But hopefully my client will enjoy this. And they actually want it to be as a medicine bag. So I imagine this thing is going to hold stones and things that are precious. I think that's pretty cool. Hang on, grab a drink. You know, as I sit here nice and comfy in a chair with an easel in front of me and a nice little board, I have to think, man, once upon a time, I would have been doing stuff like this, sitting in the grass with a clipboard on my knees while listening to music in a park kind of thing. So yeah, it's kind of, this is so much easier. Clipboards are nice, but having an easel at a desk that's at a good height really is so much easier. I'm going so much faster than I ever would have been doing this otherwise. Like seriously, I mean, look at what we've done in 45 minutes. We've 2 loops and all this other progress. Hello, people that are joining. Welcome. If you're logged into YouTube, make chat because you could stand to win in the secret word game. All you have to do is chat, say the secret word. The bot will tell you that you did it. And yeah, I'll be sending those out to you. One was made by Minutecraft and one was made by myself. And we've been trying to get a winner for that since I think sometime in April. So it's been a really, really long time. Again, we are using all 4 knots. Like here, this is a left, and then the next on the dark green here, it'll be a left right. And that's why I always like to call these by the left and right, is because it makes so much more sense when you say it. Like this is a left, and then this one is a left right. as opposed to trying to go forward, backwards, backwards, forward. That could get really confusing really fast. I know that a lot of people in the bracelet community might think I'm wrong about that, but I honestly, it's so much easier. Everybody knows what a left is, you know, forward or backwards. What if you're left-handed? What if you learned doing the left knots first? You know, and that seems to be forward for you because that was the easy one for you. You know, just doesn't. It's just easier and less confusion. This is a right hand knot. Why? Because it goes to the right. Hey, Helena. Welcome. It's really hard for me to participate in chat. Something happened and the screen that's closest to me doesn't have it, and it's hard to read. Yeah, so right, it's left and right knots. Just makes more sense. I'm glad somebody else agrees. Especially when you go into the zigzag things. Yeah, we're getting really close to joining time here. Essentially, I'll get to a point where I can't really add more to this until I get the two ends put together. Oh, we just passed the 8-year anniversary of the first bag that I made, and what do I have? Immediate. Okay, it's time. No. Well, I just went through all the pictures. It's not there. Okay, never mind. Anyways, first bag was 8 years ago, and on this day 8 years ago, I just got all the loops together to what would be the second bag, which is the bag that I went to so much trouble making it. It took me 4 months, 5 months. I don't know. It was ridiculous. And my wife won't carry it because it's too big. Well, bracelet community can have a meltdown, and they can try to understand that left and right knot makes more sense than forward back. It just does. But I know that they're going to say that there's a certain other YouTuber who doesn't call it out that way. And I don't care. I don't care. This is the hill I'll die on. It's a right and a left knot. Yeah, I admit going to the right does feel like forward to me, because that was when I learned the candy stripe. That was the direction I was going in. But that's the only reason it feels like it's forward. You know, when you think about Chinese people, right? They don't read from left to right. So then it would make sense that if they're reading in the other direction or up and down or whatever else, that forward backward thing doesn't play out. So hopefully, if I have people from other cultures, they'll appreciate it more, right? So there. Anywho, This thing's cruising. Absolutely just cruising along. I've made this in a relatively big size before, and I think I may have even done a bag out of something like this. Except for they weren't small little 8s. They were bigger diamond shapes in there. Like these pieces here were elongated, so instead of just having 2 of the small diamonds in the middle, it would have been like 3 or more. Right. I agree. It's whatever is easiest for the person. I think that makes sense. Right. So for this bag, it's relatively small. I can't use the same little plastic thing that I was using before when trying to run down the middle of this thing. So I went and I found a piece that I know I've used this before, and I'm sure one of you guys out there probably knows my channel better than myself. Will probably be like, oh yeah, I recognize that. That was with it, you know, whatever the bag was that I was working on at the time. But it's a small piece of a, what do you call these boards? Yeah, it's like some kind of a cutting board, like a crafter's cutting board, and it got messed up enough that I think it was going to get scrapped, and then I ended up saving a little piece of it because it'd be perfect for this sort of thing, and it still is. Yay. It was tucked in a briefcase with other bracelet-ish supplies because I don't like wasting things. Mind you, if all you have is the box from your cereal and you cut off a piece of that cardboard and use it, it'll totally work. You don't have to have dedicated things like I have, but I just happen to have this nice cool green board. So it's got a little bit of graph paper and some numbers, but we don't need that. Just needed something to stick inside there. So now, isn't it pretty? I really like this. Clips all over the place all of a sudden. All right. So these are the strings I'm going to need. Kind of cast the other ones to the side, and I need these over here. So everything else can kind of get up and out of the way, and I need another clip over here. Okay, mildly messy, but still workable. You can see I put the 2 pieces together really nice and close, clamped in place so as to make tying this part easier. Helena, are you still here? Hopefully you're still here. I keep meaning to try to send you a message or tell you whatever, but I can actually do this while I'm working. And the idea comes to me because the the piece in question is actually sitting on my desk. Okay, cool. All right. So I found this ring at a craft store. I think it's stainless steel. It's welded together. It's pretty solid. So my thought for you was if you got some terracotta string and you did the lark's head over top of this and you macrame down, you could make it look like a flower pot out of your macrame that you've been doing, right? So you've got those really cool kind of square knot things that you've been making bags out of. You could make a fake flower pot out of this, and you could hang your fake flower pot inside of that macrame you just did that held the real flower pot. And once you have your fake flower pot hanging inside of your macrame, you can do those beautiful leaves and flowers that you were doing, and you could make some ivy-ish vines with those various leaves and stuff on it and make those like they're climbing up the macrame. A couple little quick stitches here and there to hold them in place. And you could have a very decorative flower pot hanging plant that's literally all string. And it would look spectacular considering the flowers and stuff that you've been making. So that was my idea. Like you basically have done all the pieces, you just haven't put it all together into this thing yet. So that's my idea. I don't know. I think it would be really cool though. Oh, and the reason for the metal ring is because it'll help hold the flower pot in its shape without it letting it collapse because of the way the other thing works. There you go. I look forward to seeing it. I think it's got so much potential because like the hanger you did is so iconic. Like that's when people talk macrame, like I'm sure that's the thing that comes to mind for most people immediately is that kind of hanging flower pot like you had. But then to go the whole step further, somebody sees that in the window, they're gonna be like, oh, of course you made macrame. But when they look closer and see that the vines and the leaves and the flowers and everything is macrame, I think that's just going to take it to a whole new level. I think that's cool. So we're bringing the middle greens, the medium green down to join. The entire thing is pretty well joined now. It'll only get more reinforced as we go along. I think at this point it just makes sense for me to go ahead and get the green part of this done. And I can kind of rotate it around to get it joined up the rest of it. But in like an hour's time, we did 2 loops, joined them to everything else, finished up a whole bunch of what we could do with it, those 2 more added, and managed to put the whole thing to join together already. So you can see this is a pretty quick little pattern. And I'm sure it's probably in one of those other websites for like patterns. I have no misgivings that this isn't something that, you know, other people have tried. But that's okay. We're doing our own take on it. And the one thing those websites can't do is render in 3D, so. Oh, for those that have been keeping track of the whole family sagas and stuff, my father-in-law did finally get to go to the Philippines. So it's me and Mandy enjoying our second honeymoon, I guess. A parent-free lifestyle. It's been really nice. Mind you, there's been a lot of work around the house to be done. I'm getting on it. I'm getting her done. But yeah, it's been much quieter around here. In fact, it was so quiet, I kind of wanted to start my stream early, but I kind of felt like that would have been kind of weird. Nobody would have expected it. But I'd already finished so much of this. Like, I was so anxious to get to work on it. Trying to remember some of the other things that we talked about last time around. Oh, I was on a workout regimen and I discovered a new platform for doing the indoor cycling. And so I've started a different regimen instead of just, the last one was called Build Me Up, which I think the primary goal there was to make me faster. I am now on a workout program that is designed to help improve my ability to climb hills, which is essentially a big thing for me because when we go out on the bike, Singapore does have a number of hilly areas, and because Mandy rides on the back of the bike with me, the weight and stuff really does take a toll. And so yeah, I'm not the strongest cyclist. So being able to conquer hills easier, that's really what my end goal has been for a while. So now I actually have a workout program that's designed for that. So I'm really kind of excited. It's only, today was my second workout for it. So I can't tell you if it's really that great or anything yet, but yeah, at least I'm, you know, going to be pointed in the right direction, I guess. So there, the green row is done. I'm going to give this thing a little bit of a twist. Yeah, no surprise. She actually does that in real life. Every time I said that my program was. Funny thing is, I really actually don't know where this pattern ends. I know that after the row of the gold and purple, it'll go back to the green. And after the green, it'll go back to the gold and purple. But how many times that whole thing happens, I haven't really measured it out to see just yet. I know that the diamond that it ends with will end similarly to what we had in the last small bag. So it'll have a similar baseline to that. But, and because it's only 8 loops or like 8 bracelets, there'll just be 4 of the diamonds made that'll come together. So the star that it makes will be a little bit different. It'll still be pretty, but it'll be different. Are you trying to say I'm nuts? You girls. Oops, sorry. you never plugged in your light. So hopefully anybody that's interested in this pattern can kind of get the gist of what I've been doing from the descriptions and everything that I've been giving, or by watching it. It's really just a fun pattern. Dark green diamonds inside of the gold diamonds inside of the dark green. It's just fun. And I think it's especially fun when it's at least doubled up. Like this pattern is single, sort of, you don't get to see what's happening off on the sides. It's only when you get it doubled that you get the little dots to be the counterpoints and stuff. So that's kind of neat. I see there's something going on in the chat. I can't see it all. Somebody's up to mischiefs. One thing to note about a pattern like this, the dark green and the gold are the two colors that'll be used the most. The light green and the lavender are the ones that are used the least. So shenanigans. You girls are up to some shenanigans. Yeah, I can't see how to add the chat back. Nope. Thought I'd take a moment just to see if I could put it back up, but I can't. Cool. Another one of the gold purples down. At this point, it's just about trying to do what's necessary to complete the row. Give this just a little bit of a turn. That'll do it. Okay, two of my strings got tangled around each other. Not really much of a bunch, more like almost a knot in the making. Oh, and if you guys haven't already, hit the like button. It helps YouTube think that the content is good. Gets it out in front of more people. So as I was saying before, I probably won't get back to the blue thing until after this is finished, because of this being a commissioned work and the pillow is just something for myself. So there's a chance that I'll be finishing this up next week, or this will be all done, and then I don't know what I'll be doing next week. Maybe I got a new project, maybe I'm back on the blue thing. I don't know. I didn't see anything about layout. I did see something about nickname, and I was like, oh god, do I have to reserve mine? And they're like, your nickname is AKA AWOL. And I'm like, cool, that works. Sorry, I've kind of gotten quiet. I don't know what to talk about. And I'm really like into the whole progress of this. It's nice to see how much it's gotten done already. Mind you, the person buying it told me the colors and whatever else, and I kind of drew up a rough draft of what the pattern would sort of look like using my bracelet graph paper, but they haven't actually gotten a chance to actually see this thing. And I don't know if they actually watch my YouTube channel. If they did, they could be impressed with the whole how it's coming together and all that kind of stuff. But I suspect this is going to come as a bit of a surprise here. So you might have noticed I got over here, right? Well, when I did over here, as I was coming this way, everything I could do is all going up to the left and stopping where I didn't have any ability to go to the right. Now, all this stuff here is now all going off to the left until there is no more left to do, which just ended right there with this one. And that essentially leaves me with the end of this diamond. So this is going to go back and forth for a little bit. But it sort of works out where it kind of alternates in blocks of either everything's going to the right or everything's going to the left. And it kind of is partially why large swatches can be kind of tackled relatively quickly. So here I can show you. So basically I have all the lefts done. Now watch this. This is going to be the start of doing a bunch of things to the right. So now the gold is done all the way up to the right. And I'm done with everything from there through there. Throw those off to the side. Now this purple, it's gonna come up to the right. Then this light lavender, it's gonna come up to the right. Now this dark one. The next is the gold. What was that? Your thing died? Ah. And that's as far as I can go until I get the other diamond going. But you can see like everything there to go as far as I could, everything was going to the right. It's just it's a weird quirky thing that happens with this pattern. I suspect other patterns as well, but I like how it works in this one. Mandy's laptop just died on her. So, oh, she's got her phone. She has difficulty chatting. Just bear with her. She's doing the best she can. All right. Take care, Rainbow. Have a good night. Or day, I guess. Still early for you. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be actually on here much longer. Definitely made a lot of progress though. Really pleased with that. So yeah, these 96 string bags are just a nice small size. It's not going to hold a lot. It doesn't hold a phone or anything crazy like that, but it could definitely hold some business cards or something, I guess, if it's long enough. Um, but it's just a nice small little bag. I like it. So do this. Got the little subscribe robot out, trying to remind anybody who hasn't already to subscribe to the channel. You can hit that notification bell so you can find out when I post anything. Lately I've been trying to do shorts, but because I was primarily just been working on that huge blue pillow thing, there hasn't been really much to post. This can have some cool updates though. Should have gotten a picture of all of the string when it was cut. I could have shown the kind of before and afters. I know when I get to the end of this, like this row, at the same time I really want to take a break. I got a cramp in my neck. So other than the loop that was actually done last night, all of this has been done today, which is some pretty remarkable progress. Honestly, if I can get a couple more days of this kind of progress, this thing will be done this week. The challenging part of actually joining things together, that's all taken care of and out of the way, leaving me to where I just have to do the little rotation periodically. Not too bad. Down to the hole. Do I want to finish this last one now, or? I think we're going to call it a night, guys. I'm getting tired. Before I go, I want to thank all my Patreon people for making this possible. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to have a website and do the videos with the cameras and everything else. So I want to thank you guys very much from the bottom of my heart. I will be back next week. Don't know what we'll be working on, but it will be something. So hopefully you guys will come, you'll check things out, have questions, I'll try my best to answer them, and I will see you next week. All right, so as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.